So what is a collaboration? Let's start at the very beginning. I like to think of collaborations as an exchange of services or talent without the involvement of money. Think of it like back in the day before money was even invented. This is how people traded their skills. Of course, it got to a point where the shoe salesman needed apples and the apple salesman didn't need shoes, so you needed a common thing to exchange between. In comes money. So if you think about money, it's simply a common denominator between different people and different services and different skills to really give things a proper value. So a collaboration is simply the exchange of goods, services, or skills without the need of money, without the middleman. There are quite a few reasons why you might want to be doing a collaboration instead of getting paid for your work, and I want to talk about what those are. Reason number one, for exchange of value. If, let's say, you wanted to buy a pair of boots and you didn't want to spend the $300, you might reach out to the brand and say, hey, would you be interested in receiving my photography services in exchange for a collaboration? You get the goods, and in exchange, they get the services. You want to make sure that the value of what you're giving them or the value that you're receiving is equal or similar to what you're given. This is the same when I do hotel collaborations. I often travel to places and I know that I'm gonna have to spend the money anyway to sleep somewhere. So why not, instead of trying to find a job that's gonna pay me money and then use that money to pay for a hotel, why not eliminate that entire exchange and offer my services in exchange for their services at an equal value exchange? Another reason why people do collaborations, it's because it's a good opportunity. Oftentimes, things like getting on the cover of a magazine or working with a model you like or working with a brand you like might not be possible as a paid opportunity. So doing a collaboration could be a good foot in the door. It could be a way to be seen, it could be a way to create work that you like, and it could be a way to let a potential client discover you. Another reason, of course, is to build experience. If you're someone who's starting out, doing collaborations is a great way to test your skills and to do the work without having the pressure of booking clients and knowing that you're getting paid for the services. It's gonna take the edge off, and it's gonna make you experience what it's like to be a professional photographer and do a full shoot without the fear of up and maybe ruining an opportunity for a paid client. So collaborations are a great way to test the waters and to see how you really work. And lastly, the biggest reason why people should be doing collaborations, and that is to build portfolio. You don't just simply slip into your dream work and your dream clients. It takes time to get to them. And the only way to get to your dream clients is by showing them the kind of work that you want to shoot for them. How do you ask someone to hire you to shoot something you haven't shot before? And how do you shoot something if you haven't done it? Well, you do collaborations. When you do collaborations, you build your portfolio, you expand your images, you create the work you love so you can show that work to potential clients and start creating that work for paid clients. Now, how to make sure you're doing collaborations right? There is no really right or wrong way to do it. It's more so about making sure that you feel good about the exchange and that you're being properly compensated for your time, your work, your skills, and your images. But if there's one thing I would say it's the right way to do it is with full transparency and a lot of communication. You have to make sure that both parties are very clear that this is a collaboration and both parties know exactly what they're getting out of the deal. There's nothing worse than getting into a partnership without knowing what's happening at the other end. So the way to do a collaboration right is to spell it right out at the beginning. You could even have a contract, you could write it out in an email, you could have people sign or not sign, it doesn't matter. The point is, both parties should be clear of what to expect from the other. So don't be afraid to spell it out, to tell them exactly how many images to expect, to tell them what the collaboration is gonna look like, whether they're gonna be there for you, whether you're just gonna deliver the images. And if there's any other caveats or anything else that you wanna make sure it's clear from the get-go, you don't wanna be met with any surprises. So clear communication, and this doesn't go just for collaborations, of course, this goes with client work as well. That's a video for another time. Just make sure that things are written, that things are clear, and that you know what you're getting from this partnership, and so does the other collaborator. Now, there are a few common problems that come with collaborations. The first one, of course, being the value in your work. We love what we do, and as photographers, we tend to overgive and think that what we do we love so much and it's so easy for us and it comes so naturally that we immediately think we need to give more, especially if we're doing a collaboration for a tangible good. Just remember that you should be doing value for value. So if you're going to be doing an exchange for a dress and that dress is worth $150, you should be doing $150 worth of work, whatever that means for your business. Another issue, of course, is overgiving. You end up giving your clients in the partnership way too many images. You end up overshooting because you want to make sure they love them. And in the end, you realize that you did a full day of work, you brought the clothing everywhere, you shot it all around the world. And in exchange, you didn't even like this dress and the brand ended up with all of these images and now they don't even need to hire a photographer. Been there, done that. Another huge problem is having unclear goals. A lot of people get brands or companies sliding into their DMs and offering collaborations, and at the beginning you might say yes because it's exciting and you think you're being valued for your work, and then you end up doing the work and you realize it's not the kind of work you like to do, what you're getting in exchange is not valuable for you, and then it's very unclear what is good out of this collaboration for you. So that is something that is very common, and it's okay if it happened to you already or if it's happening at the beginning. At some point you will snap out of it and realize that you get to do collaborations only when they're valuable for you as well. The last and biggest problem I would say with collaborations is that sometimes it can be hard to jump from unpaid work to paid work. If you're doing a collaboration with a brand or with a company in hopes that they're going to eventually hire you and pay you for your services, you have to be very careful. If you worked for free or for exchange or for collaboration, sometimes on the other side, they might be devaluing your work and not seeing the true worth of what you deliver. This is why it's so important that you have a clear communication of what you're given. If you're doing an exchange of goods for services, you gotta let your partner in this exchange know what is the value of what you're delivering. If it's a photo shoot worth $500, make sure that they know that, because next time they come around asking for a collab, you might wanna say, I don't have time to take unpaid work anymore. This is the value of my services. And maybe they will already be expecting it if you had the proper conversation. So how to avoid bad collaborations? Simply put, choose them wisely. As a rule of thumb, I try to only do collaborations that I initiate and that I seek for. Like I said, if I'm traveling, I will reach out to hotels, I will reach out to destinations, I will reach out to activity providers, and I will propose a collaboration because I knew I wanted to do that anyway, so it will save me money in the end. If somebody reaches out to me, before I take any collaboration, I really take a moment, I think, do I really want this? Does this serve me? Is this good for me? Does it grow my portfolio? Does it grow my experience? Or does it give me something that I would have spent money on anyway? If the answer is yes to any of those, then you know it is a good collaboration. If you're not sure, if it's not leaving you with something you want, whether it's goods, experiences, or portfolio, then this is not really collaboration, it's a potential client literally taking advantage of you. Hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you next time.